Sarah has exactly 30 seconds before her entire world collapses. She doesn't know this yet. Right now, she's focused on Luna, her 5-year-old daughter who's currently mesmerized by a vendor's crystallized honey display. The morning market is loud, chaotic, perfect for blending in. Sarah's been doing this for 6 years, staying invisible, keeping Luna safe. 25 seconds. Her leather pouch slips. She bends to catch it. Her sleeve rides up. The crescent moon mark on her inner wrist catches sunlight, burns silver. For just a heartbeat. 20 seconds. Mama, look. Luna's voice. Too loud. Too excited. Sarah straightens, pulse already accelerating, and that's when she sees him. Alpha King Davian, walking through the market like a god among mortals, armor gleaming, dark cape flowing, guards flanking him. The man she spent 6 years running from. The man she needed to believe she was dead. 15 seconds. The crowd parts without being asked, creates a corridor of empty space, and at the end of that corridor, Davian's amber eyes sweep the market. Haven't found her yet, but they will. Sarah grabs Luna's hand. We need to go. Now. 10 seconds. But Mama, that man has a cape like… Luna, please. 5 seconds. But Luna, 5 years old and fearless, pulls free, takes 3 skipping steps toward the Alpha King. Excuse me, mister? 0. The king stops. His entire entourage freezes. And then, slowly, deliberately, Davian turns. His eyes find Luna first, then travel up. To Sarah. Recognition hits him like a physical blow. Stop. Before we go 1 second further, I need your help. My neighbor said I'd never hit 2,000 subscribers. She thinks stories like this are dead, that nobody cares about love, sacrifice, and second chances anymore. But I think she's wrong. I think you're here because these stories matter. So prove her wrong with me. Subscribe to Lisa Romance Stories right this second. Turn on notifications. Show the world that powerful storytelling still has a place, because what happens next? It's going to change everything. Now let's watch Sarah's carefully constructed life shatter in real time. Davian takes 1 step forward. The mark on Sarah's wrist burns hotter, and Luna, completely unaware of what she's about to do, opens her mouth. His armor catches light like trapped stars, ornate breastplate etched with a sun symbol, dark cape flowing past his knees despite the absence of wind. But it's his face that steals Sarah's breath. Sharp jaw. Eyes the color of amber in firelight. Hair pulled back in a way that exposes the brutal beauty of his features. He moves through the market like a predator, graceful and terrifying, guards flanking him at a respectful distance. Luna tugs at Sarah's skirt. Why does he look so serious? We need to go. Sarah's voice comes out strangled. She reaches for her daughter's hand, fingers trembling. But Luna, 5 years old and fearless in the way only children can be, takes 3 skipping steps toward the approaching king. Excuse me, mister. Luna, no! The Alpha King stops. His entire entourage freezes. One of his guards moves forward, hand on his sword hilt, but Davian raises a single finger. The guard retreats. Davian crouches, bringing himself to Luna's eye level. Up close, Sarah can see the impossibility of him, the way his presence seems to bend reality around his frame. Yes, little one? My name's Luna. She beams, gap-toothed and unafraid. You have really pretty armor. Are you a real king? I am. His voice rumbles, low and careful. What brings you to the market today? Mama needs herbs for her remedies. She makes people feel better when they're sick. Luna bounces on her toes, then her expression shifts to something curious. Hey, you have a mark too. Sarah's heart stops. Luna, we're leaving. On your neck, Luna points, delighted by her discovery. See? Right there under your ear. It's shaped like a crescent moon. My mama has the same one. The marketplace noise doesn't actually stop, but to Sarah it feels like the entire world goes silent. Davian's amber eyes lift from Luna's face. They lock onto Sarah with the force of a physical blow. She can't move, can't breathe, can't do anything but stand there as recognition slides across his features like a blade drawn from its sheath. His nostrils flare. Something inhuman flickers behind his gaze, wolf gold bleeding into the amber. The mark on his neck, previously hidden by shadow, begins to glow with a faint silver light. Sarah's own mark burns in response. She presses her wrist against her stomach, but the heat spreads through her entire arm. "Where?" Davian's voice drops to barely above a whisper, but it carries the weight of an alpha command. "Where is your mark?" Luna, oblivious to the tension crackling between the adults, grabs her mother's hand. "Show him, Mama, it's on your—" "We're late." Sarah snatches Luna up, hoisting the girl onto her hip despite being too heavy for casual carrying anymore. "Apologies, Your Majesty. My daughter speaks out of turn." She turns to flee. "Stop!" The word isn't loud. Davian doesn't shout, but every wolf-blooded person in the market, and there are dozens, goes utterly still. It's an alpha order, bleeding through the air like ink through water. Sarah's legs lock. She fights it, every muscle screaming rebellion, but her body won't obey. Years of running, of hiding, of building a life in the shadows, all of it crumbling because her daughter noticed a mark. Davian rises to his full height. He takes one step forward, then another. His boots sound too loud against the packed earth. When he speaks again, his voice has gone rough. "Show me." "I don't know what—" "The mark." His hand lifts. And for a moment Sarah thinks he might grab her, but he stops inches away. His fingers hover near her wrist, trembling with restraint. "Please." That last word breaks something. The command was terrifying, but the plea is worse. It carries the weight of 6 years and 1,000 unanswered questions. Sarah's free hand moves on its own. She pushes her sleeve up. The crescent moon mark gleams silver against her dark skin, perfect and undeniable. It sits exactly where a mate mark would rest, where a bonded pair's souls would forever be entwined. Davian's breath catches. Behind him, one of his guards gasps. Another drops to one knee. "Impossible," Davian whispers, but his wolf surges forward, pressing against his skin. The air around him shimmers with barely contained power. His eyes bleed full gold. When he speaks again, it's not entirely his voice. Something ancient and primal rumbles underneath. "You died." "I didn't." Sarah's own voice cracks. "But I needed you to believe I did." Luna squirms in her arms, confused by the adult's strange behavior. "Mama, why is the king's wolf showing?" And that's when Davian's gaze drops to Luna, really looks at her for the first time, takes in the familiar curve of her nose, the golden flecks in her brown eyes, the way she tilts her head when she's curious. His wolf doesn't just surge forward this time, it stands. But wait, what secret forced Sarah to fake her death 6 years ago? "Let me know what you think." Sarah runs. Luna bounces against her shoulder, arms wrapped tight around her mother's neck. The market blurs into streaks of color, rust-red awnings, yellow baskets of grain, the brown blur of faces turning to watch them flee. Sarah's lungs burn. Her mark throbs with each heartbeat, a painful reminder of what she's spent 6 years trying to forget. Behind them, shouting erupts. Davian's voice cuts through the chaos, barking orders his guards scramble to obey. "Mama, you're squeezing too tight." Luna's complaint comes out breathless. "I'm sorry, baby. Hold on." Sarah veers left down an alley between 2 shops. Rotting vegetables squelch under her boots. The smell of decay clogs her throat. She doesn't slow down. The alley spits them out onto a side street. Fewer people here, mostly elderly wolves sunning themselves on wooden benches, young mothers hanging laundry on lines strung between buildings. Sarah's presence draws stares. A woman running through the streets with a child draws questions. She can't afford questions. Sarah ducks into a narrow passage between 2 stone houses. The walls press close on either side, rough stone scraping her elbows. Luna's breathing comes quick and scared against her ear. "Why are we running?" Luna whispers. "Did we do something bad?" "No, sweetheart, we just—" Sarah's voice cracks. She swallows hard, tasting copper and panic. "We need to go home now." "But what about the herbs?" "Forget the herbs." The passage ends at a wooden fence. Sarah sets Luna down long enough to boost her over, then scrambles after. They land in someone's backyard. Chickens scatter, squawking indignation. An old man dozing in a chair jerks awake, mouth opening to yell. Sarah presses a silver coin into his weathered palm. "We were never here." His fingers close around the coin. He nods once, then settles back into his chair, eyes already sliding shut. They emerge 3 streets away from the market. Sarah's cottage sits at the edge of the village, backed up against the forest. Close enough to be part of the community, far enough to run when needed. She's always known she might need to run again. Her hands shake as she unlocks the door. Inside smells like dried lavender and the chamomile tea she'd brewed that morning. Evidence of their life together clutters every surface. Luna's drawings pinned to the walls, half-finished embroidery on the table, mud-caked boots by the door. 6 years of building something safe, something normal, all destroyed because Luna noticed a mark. Sarah moves through the cottage on autopilot, pulls the emergency bag from its hiding place beneath the floorboards, starts grabbing essentials, clothes, food, the pouch of coins she's been saving. Her fingers won't stop trembling. "Mama?" Luna hovers in the doorway, small and confused. "Are we leaving?" The question drives a spike through Sarah's chest. She pauses, a dress half folded in her hands. Looks at her daughter. Beautiful, innocent Luna, who doesn't understand what she's done, who has no idea her simple observation just shattered everything. Sarah's mark burns. She touches it without thinking, feels the raised skin hot beneath her fingertips. The mate bond she'd thought severed roars back to life, a golden thread stretching across the distance back toward the market, back toward Davian. She can feel him, his shock, his wolf's rage and recognition. The bond doesn't lie. It never could. "We might need to," Sarah says softly. "Just for a little while." Luna's lower lip trembles. "But all my friends are here, and Mrs. Kalani promised to teach me how to braid hair tomorrow." Sarah closes her eyes, breathes. The air in the cottage feels too thick. A memory crashes over her unbidden. Davian's face 6 years ago, the night she'd fled. The devastation in his eyes when he'd believed the lies she'd carefully constructed. The way his wolf had howled for 3 days straight, a sound that had echoed through the entire pack territory. She'd done that to him, broken him deliberately, because staying would have killed them both. "Pack your favorite toys," Sarah says, forcing her voice steady. "Only what you can carry." Luna doesn't move. "I don't want to go." "Luna, why did the king's wolf stand up when he looked at me?" The question lands like a physical blow. Sarah's hands still on the bag. "What?" "His wolf." Luna's voice is small, uncertain. "When he looked at me, his wolf stood up inside him. I could see it in his eyes. That only happens when—" She stops, brow furrowing as she works through what her 5-year-old brain knows about wolf hierarchy. That's what pack wolves do when they recognize their alpha's family. Sarah's lungs forget how to work. "Baby, that's not—" But the lie dies on her tongue. Luna is young, but she's not stupid. She's grown up among wolves, learned their ways, and she's just connected dots that should have stayed scattered. A knock at the door makes them both jump, not a knock, a pounding, hard enough to rattle the hinges. "Sarah of the eastern border." The voice belongs to one of Davian's guards. Sarah recognizes the clipped military cadence. "By order of Alpha King Davian, you are summoned to the palace immediately." Luna's eyes go wide. Sarah presses a finger to her lips, motioning for silence. "We know you're inside," the guard continues. "Your neighbors confirmed your location. You have 2 minutes to open this door before we break it down." Sarah's mind races. The cottage has a back exit leading into the forest. If they move fast enough, if she can get Luna out the window— "Mama?" Luna's whisper is barely audible. "Is the king my papa?" The world tilts. Sarah stares at her daughter, at those amber-flecked eyes that she's spent 6 years pretending came from her own bloodline, at the stubborn set of her jaw that mirrors Davian's exactly, at the way she tilts her head when she's thinking, just like he does, All the little things Sarah has noticed and ignored and rationalized away. 1 minute, the guard announces. Luna doesn't wait for an answer. She walks to the front door, small hand reaching for the latch. Luna, no? But her daughter is already pulling it open. 4 guards stand on the threshold, hands on sword hilts. Behind them, the entire street has gathered to watch. Curious faces, worried whispers. Mrs. Kalani clutches her market basket, eyes wide with concern. Luna looks up at the lead guard. Is the king my papa? The guard's stern expression falters. He glances at his companions, then back down at the small girl blocking the doorway. That's not for me to... Because if he is, Luna continues, her voice gaining confidence, then you should probably be nicer to my mama. That's what pack law says. You have to protect the alphas, mate. Sarah's legs give out. She catches herself on the table, fingers digging into wood. The guards exchange looks. The lead one's hand falls away from his sword. He takes a step back, and the others follow. They drop to one knee in unison. Forgive us, Lady Sarah, the guard says, his earlier authority replaced by uncertainty. We were not informed of your relationship with the king. There is no relationship, Sarah manages. This is a misunderstanding. The bond mark doesn't misunderstand. Another voice, this one familiar and cold. Davian's cousin Jamal steps around the kneeling guards. He's dressed in the fine clothes of a palace advisor, his expression calculating. Sarah remembers him from before, ambitious, ruthless, always circling power like a shark scenting blood. He smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. The king requests your immediate presence. Both of you. Luna reaches back and grabs her mother's hand. Her grip is tight. We're coming. Luna, if he's my papa, I want to meet him properly. Luna's chin lifts, stubborn and determined. You always said my papa was a hero who died protecting people. You said I should be proud of him. Her eyes shine with unshed tears. Did you lie? The question cuts deeper than any blade. Sarah looks at her daughter, at the hope and confusion warring in her young face. Then at Jamal's predatory smile, at the kneeling guards, at the neighbors gathering to witness this impossible moment, at the life she'd built, crumbling like ash. Sarah touches her mark one more time, feels the bond humming with an intensity that steals her breath. Davian is calling for her through it, a wordless pull that makes her knees weak. She never told him about Luna, never gave him the chance to know his daughter existed, and now the truth is standing between them, 5 years old and demanding answers. Pack your bag, Sarah whispers. We're going to see the king. I don't know about you, but how far would you go to protect someone you love, even if it meant they'd hate you forever? The palace rises from the mountainside like a crown of stone and steel. Sarah hasn't seen it in 6 years. She'd forgotten how it dominates the landscape, towers stretching toward clouds, walls thick enough to withstand a siege, windows glittering like captured stars. The royal road leading up to it winds through forest that gradually transitions from wild woods to manicured gardens. Luna presses her face against the carriage window. It's so big. Sarah can't manage more than that. Her throat feels too tight. Jamal sits across from them, fingers steepled, expression unreadable. He hasn't spoken since they left the village, just watched Sarah with the patience of a predator waiting for prey to tire itself out. The other guards ride outside, their carriage rocks with each turn in the road. Your cottage was charming, Jamal says finally. Quite the downgrade from the Luna wing, though. That's what Davian named the Eastern Palace Tower after you supposedly died, the Luna wing. His smile sharpens, romantic in a tragic sort of way. Sarah doesn't answer. Her hand rests on Luna's shoulder, protective and tense. He mourned you. Jamal's voice drops lower. Properly. 3 months of darkness where he barely spoke, barely ate. The pack thought they might lose their alpha to grief. He pauses. I almost had to challenge him for leadership, for the good of the pack, you understand. But you didn't. Sarah meets his gaze. Because he survived. Because he survived, Jamal agrees, and became stronger for it, harder, the kind of king who doesn't let emotion cloud his judgment. His eyes flick to Luna, then back. Until now. Luna shifts under Sarah's hand. Why does everyone keep saying my mama died? An excellent question. Jamal leans forward. Perhaps your mother can explain why she let everyone believe she'd been killed by rogues. Why she let her mate, your father, suffer for years thinking she was dead. That's enough, Sarah snaps. Is it? Jamal's expression doesn't change. Because from where I'm sitting, you committed the highest betrayal. Faking a mate's death is punishable by exile or execution, depending on the alpha's mercy. He glances at Luna again, something calculating in his gaze. Though I suppose the discovery of a hidden heir complicates things. The carriage pulls through the outer gates. Guards salute as they pass. Sarah catches glimpses of familiar faces among them, wolves who'd served under her when she'd been lady of the pack. Some look shocked, others confused. A few show naked relief. They remember her, even after 6 years. The realization makes her chest ache. The carriage stops in the main courtyard. Jamal exits first, then extends a hand to help Luna down. She takes it, wobbling slightly on the marble steps. Her eyes go wide as she takes in the palace proper, the towering entrance, the guards in ceremonial armor, the fountains carved from white stone. Mama, look! Luna points at a fountain featuring wolves in mid-leap. They're beautiful. They're marble, Sarah says quietly, stepping down without Jamal's assistance. Carved by artists 3 generations ago. You remember? Jamal's tone carries surprise. I thought you might have forgotten all this. I remember everything. The words come out harder than intended. They cross the courtyard toward the main entrance. Every step feels like walking through honey, slow and difficult. Sarah's mark burns hotter with each yard they cover. The bond pulls at her, stronger now that they're on Davian's territory. He's inside, close. The connection between them sings with proximity. The great doors swing open. A servant bows low. Lady Sarah, the king awaits in the throne room. Not his private study. Not a casual meeting room. The throne room. This is official then. A formal audience. Sarah's stomach clenches. I need to prepare Luna first. The king awaits, the servant repeats, apologetic but firm. Now. Jamal gestures toward the corridor. After you. They walk through halls that haven't changed, same tapestries showing pack history, same sconces holding ever-burning torches, same marble floors polished to mirror brightness. Sarah used to run through these corridors, used to know every secret passage and hidden alcove, used to belong here. Luna's hand finds hers. Mama, I'm scared. I know, baby. Sarah squeezes her daughter's fingers. Me too. The throne room doors loom ahead, massive oak reinforced with iron, carved with the pack's symbol. 2 guards pull them open. The room beyond steals Sarah's breath. It's exactly as she remembers. Vaulted ceilings, columns carved to look like trees, windows letting in shafts of afternoon light, and at the far end, elevated on a dais of black stone, the throne, and sitting in it, Davian. He looks different, harder. The softness she'd loved about him has been carved away, leaving something sharp and dangerous. His amber eyes track their approach with an intensity that makes Sarah's knees weak. The mate bond snaps fully alive, a golden cord stretching between them, pulling tight enough to hurt. His wolf is right there, just beneath his skin. She can see it in the gold bleeding through his eyes, the tension in his shoulders. It wants out, wants to surge forward and claim what's his. But Davian holds it back through sheer force of will. The throne room isn't empty. Advisors line the walls. Council members sit in chairs arranged in a semicircle, all the pack's leadership gathered to witness this. To witness her. Sarah stops 15 feet from the throne. Luna presses against her side, suddenly shy in the face of so much attention. Silence stretches. Davian doesn't speak, just stares at her with those impossible eyes, drinking in every detail as if confirming she's real. Finally, he moves, stands. The simple motion commands every eye in the room. "Everyone out." His voice resonates, alpha power making it impossible to disobey. The advisors exchange glances. Jamal opens his mouth to protest. "Out." Davian's eyes flash full gold. "Now." They flee. Advisors scrambling for doors. Council members departing with backward glances. Jamal lingers longest, shooting Sarah a look she can't decipher before finally leaving. The doors boom shut. 3 heartbeats, 4, 5, then Davian moves. He crosses the distance between them in seconds, wolf speed making him blur. Sarah's instincts scream to run, to protect Luna, to... He stops, inches away. Close enough that she can feel heat radiating from his skin, can smell cedar and smoke and something uniquely him. "You're alive." His voice cracks on the word. "I'm alive," Sarah whispers. His hand lifts, trembles, touches her face with a gentleness that contrasts the violence evident in his frame. "I felt you die. The bond, it broke. I felt it shatter. I know." Tears burn Sarah's eyes. "I'm sorry." "Sorry?" The word comes out strangled. "You let me think. You let me mourn." His control splinters. 6 years, Sarah. 6 years I believed you were dead." Luna's small voice cuts through the tension. "Are you my papa?" Davian's hand falls away from Sarah's face. He looks down. Really looks at Luna for the first time. The resemblance is unmistakable up close. Same bone structure, same eyes, even the same stubborn set to her jaw. "How old is she?" Davian's voice has gone deadly quiet. Sarah's mouth is too dry. 5. "When's her birthday?" "February 12th. Davian does the math in his head. Sarah watches comprehension dawn, followed by devastation. "You were pregnant. When you left, when you faked your death, you were pregnant." "Yes." "With my child." "Yes." His wolf surges forward. The air around him shimmers with barely contained power. When he speaks again, it's not fully his voice. "You denied me my daughter." "I was protecting her? From what?" The question explodes from him. "From me?" "From her own father?" Luna starts crying. The sudden volume, the anger crackling through the air. It's too much for her. She buries her face in Sarah's skirt, small body shaking. The sound cuts through Davian's fury like a knife. His expression crumbles. He drops to one knee, bringing himself level with Luna. "I'm sorry." His voice gentles instantly. "I didn't mean to scare you." Luna peeks out from Sarah's skirt. "You're really loud." "I am. That was wrong of me." Davian holds out his hand, palm up. An offering. "My name is Davian, and yes, I'm your papa." Luna stares at his hand, then at his face, then back at his hand. Slowly, carefully, she reaches out. Her small fingers barely cover half his palm. The moment they touch, Davian's entire body goes rigid. The pack bond, father to daughter, snaps into place. Sarah feels it through her own connection to him, a golden thread weaving between all 3 of them. Davian's eyes close. "She has my wolf." "I know," Sarah whispers. "She's perfect." "I know." He opens his eyes. They're wet. "Why? Why did you take her from me?" Before Sarah can answer, the doors crash open. A guard stumbles in, bleeding from a gash across his shoulder. "Alpha," the Shadow Fang pack, they're at the border. They've issued a challenge. Davian rises, his moment of vulnerability vanishing behind the Alpha mask. "How many?" "At least 50 warriors. Maybe more." The guard's voice shakes. "They're demanding an audience. They say..." He pauses, glancing at Sarah. "They say they've come to collect a debt." Every drop of blood drains from Sarah's face. "No, not now, not after all this time." Davian catches her expression. "You know what this is about." It's not a question. Sarah's hand finds Luna's head, holding her daughter close. "The reason I faked my death," she says quietly. "The reason I ran. The reason I couldn't stay." She meets Davian's gaze. "They're here for me, and if they find out about Luna," her voice breaks, "they'll take her too." Davian's wolf explodes forward. His eyes burn solid gold. When he speaks, it's pure alpha command, resonating through every stone of the palace. "No one touches my daughter." The words still hang in the air when Jamal bursts through the doors. His expression is triumphant, victorious. "The Shadowfang Alpha is requesting entry under treaty rights," he announces. He says he has proof that Lady Sarah broke a blood oath, one that predates her mating bond to you. His smile sharpens. "By pack law, his claim supersedes yours. You can't run from destiny, but what if destiny has claws?" The blood oath contract lands on the table between them with a sound like a death sentence. Sarah stares at the parchment, at the words she'd hoped never to see again. Her signature sits at the bottom in faded ink, next to another name that makes her stomach turn. The Shadowfang Alpha, Malik, stands across from her in Davian's private war room, arms crossed, expression victorious. "Read it aloud," Malik commands, "so your mate understands what you agreed to." Davian's hand slams the table. The wood cracks under the impact. "You will address her with respect, or I'll remove your tongue." "Respect!" Malik laughs. It's an ugly sound. "For the woman who swore a blood oath to my pack and ran? Who promised herself to me in exchange for protection?" His eyes find Sarah's. "Who was supposed to become my mate 7 years ago?" Luna sits in the corner, guarded by 2 of Davian's most trusted warriors. She can't hear the conversation from there, but her eyes stay locked on her mother, scared, confused. Sarah forces herself to speak. "I was 17. My family was being hunted by rogues. Malik offered protection in exchange for—" Her voice catches. "In exchange for a mating bond when I turned 18. "A legal contract," Malik interjects. "Witnessed by both pack elders, binding under the old laws." Davian's wolf presses against his skin, making the air shimmer. "She found her true mate. That supersedes any contract." "Does it?" Jamal speaks from his position by the door. He's been too quiet, Sarah realizes. Too pleased by this development. "The old laws are clear. A blood oath predates mate bonds. It's why they're so rare and so dangerous." His eyes gleam. Breaking one is punishable by death, or by claiming the oathbreaker's firstborn child as payment. Sarah's world tilts. "No. Yes." Malik's smile spreads. "I could demand your life, Sarah, but I'm a reasonable man. I'll take the girl instead. Raise her as Shadowfang. Train her to be useful." He glances at Luna. "She has alpha blood. She'll make a fine addition to my pack." Davian moves faster than Sarah can track. One moment he's at the table. The next he has Malik by the throat, lifted off the ground, wolf gold burning in his eyes. "Touch my daughter, and I'll scatter your pack to the winds. Kill me and you break treaty law." Malik's voice comes out strangled but defiant. "Every allied pack will turn against you. You'll be named Rogue Alpha, stripped of territory and title." The words hang in the air like poison. Davian's grip tightens. Malik's face turns purple. For a heartbeat, Sarah thinks he might actually do it, might kill Malik and damn the consequences. Then Luna's voice cuts through the tension. "Mama, why is that man talking about taking me away?" Davian's hand opens. Malik drops, gasping. The Alpha King steps back, chest heaving, fighting for control. Sarah crosses to Luna, kneels beside her. "No one's taking you anywhere, baby." "But he said—" "He's wrong." Sarah cups her daughter's face. "I promise you, no one will take you from me." "Can you promise that?" Jamal's question drips false sympathy. "Because legally, Malik has a claim. Unless—" he pauses dramatically. "Unless Sarah can prove the blood oath was obtained under false pretenses, or if she can provide evidence that Malik broke faith first." Malik straightens his collar. "I broke nothing. The contract was clear. Protection for a mate bond. I upheld my end. Sarah's family lived. She ran. Because you lied." The words burst from Sarah before she can stop them. You said the rogues were random, that my family was just unlucky. Her hands clench into fists. But they weren't random. You hired them. The room goes deadly quiet. Prove it, Malik says softly. I can't. Sarah's voice cracks. They're all dead. The rogues you hired, the witnesses, anyone who knew the truth. She looks at Davian, pleading for him to understand. That's why I ran. I discovered what he'd done 2 weeks before the mating ceremony. He'd orchestrated the entire attack just to force my hand, to make me desperate enough to agree to his terms. Davian's expression shifts. The rogue attack on the eastern border, 7 years ago. That was your family? My parents. My brother. Tears burn Sarah's eyes. They survived because I agreed to Malik's contract. But then I found letters in his study, communications with the rogue leader, proof that he'd paid them to target my family specifically. She turns to Malik. You wanted me because my bloodline traces back to the original pack founders. You thought mating with me would legitimize your claim to alpha status. An interesting story. Malik's tone stays level. With no evidence. The letters? Burned, along with my old study when I renovated 3 years ago. His smile returns. Convenient, isn't it? Sarah's legs weaken. She'd known the evidence was gone, but hearing him confirm it, seeing his satisfaction, it breaks something inside her. So when I found out I was pregnant, she continues, voice hollow, I knew I had to run. If Malik discovered I was carrying Davian's child, if he knew the mate bond had already formed. She can't finish the sentence. Davian does it for her. He would have killed the baby. Or kept it as leverage. Jamal adds quietly, a true mate's child is powerful. Malik could have raised her as his own, used her alpha blood to strengthen his pack. He looks at Sarah with something that might be respect. So you faked your death, made everyone believe you died in a rogue attack, the perfect cover. I had help. Sarah glances at the guard by the door, Rashid, who'd served her family before joining Davian's guard. His expression stays neutral, but she sees recognition in his eyes. Someone who knew what Malik had done, who helped me disappear. Rashid steps forward. I did, because I knew Malik was dirty, because I watched Sarah's family suffer for his ambition. His voice hardens. But I have no proof either, just my word. The word of a guard against an alpha? Malik laughs. Please. Davian moves to stand beside Sarah. The mate bond hums between them, golden and desperate. I believe her. Your belief doesn't supersede pack law, Jamal says. He sounds almost regretful. Without evidence, Malik's claim stands. The blood oath was broken. Payment is owed. He pauses. Unless Sarah agrees to fulfill the original contract terms. The suggestion lands like a bomb. Sarah looks at Davian. At the devastation spreading across his face, at the way his wolf howls inside him, demanding he fight, demanding he protect what's his. Then she looks at Luna, at her daughter's frightened eyes, at the future Malik wants to steal from her. There's another option, Sarah says quietly. Everyone turns to stare. Trial by combat. The words taste like ash. Old laws allow it. If I can defeat Malik in ritual combat, the blood oath is voided. Luna stays with her father. Her voice wavers. I accept whatever judgment Davian deems appropriate for my deception. Malik's eyes light up. You? Fight me? You're not a warrior, Sarah. No. She straightens her spine. But I'm a mother, and I'll die before I let you touch my child. Davian grabs her arm. No, absolutely not. He'll kill you. Maybe. Sarah covers his hand with hers. But it's the only way to keep Luna safe, to end this without war. She meets his gaze, letting him see everything, her fear, her love, her absolute certainty. Trust me, please. The silence that follows feels eternal. Luna breaks it. She walks over, taking both her parents' hands. Mama's really strong. She fights off wolves who try to steal our chickens, big ones. Despite everything, Davian's mouth twitches. Chickens? "They're very important chickens," Sarah whispers. He looks at her, really looks at her, seeing not the woman who betrayed him, but the woman who sacrificed everything to protect their child, who lived in hiding for 6 years, who's offering to die now rather than let their daughter be taken. His thumb brushes across her knuckles. "When?" "Tomorrow night," Malik answers before Sarah can. "Under the full moon." Ritual combat rules: first blood, submission, or death. His smile turns cruel. "I'll try to make it quick." Davian's grip on Sarah's hand tightens until it almost hurts. "If you kill her, I will hunt you across every territory. I will burn Shadowfang to ashes. I will make you watch everyone you love die before I take your head." "Assuming pack law doesn't strip your title first," Jamal murmurs. The advisor's words carry weight. If Davian attacks Malik outside the ritual combat rules, he becomes the Oathbreaker. The treaty alliances will crumble. Other packs will move against him. He's trapped. They all are. Malik heads for the door. Victory in every step. Tomorrow night, the Eastern Clearing, traditional grounds. He pauses, looking back. "Say goodbye to your daughter, Sarah. It's the last time you'll see her." The door closes behind him. Sarah's knees give out. She crumples, and Davian catches her. His arms wrap around her, solid and warm, and too late. The mate bond screams between them, desperate. "I'll find another way," he says against her hair. "There has to be another way." But they both know there isn't. Luna climbs into her mother's lap. "You'll win, right, Mama? You always win." Sarah holds her daughter close, breathing in the scent of her, sunshine and honey and innocence. "I'll try my hardest, baby." Outside the window, the moon begins to rise, full and bright and merciless, 24 hours until everything changes. When faced with an impossible choice, what would you sacrifice to save the ones you love? Dawn breaks with the sound of steel on steel. Sarah's muscles scream. Sweat drips into her eyes. She barely blocks Rashid's strike, the practice sword jarring her arms so hard her teeth rattle. He doesn't pull the blow. Can't afford to. In 18 hours she faces Malik, and mercy in training means death in combat. "Again!" Rashid barks. Sarah lunges. He sidesteps, taps her ribs with the flat of his blade. "Dead. Again." They've been at this since before sunrise. The training yard is empty except for them and Davian, who watches from the shadows with eyes that haven't stopped glowing gold since Malik left. His wolf is too close to the surface, too ready to tear through anything that threatens his mate. Sarah resets her stance, charges again. This time she feints left, cuts right. The move catches Rashid off guard. Her blade kisses his shoulder. "Better." He nods approval. But Malik won't fall for basic tricks. He's been alpha for 12 years. He's killed challengers before. "How many?" Sarah's breathing comes hard. 7. Rashid's expression darkens. "All of them more experienced fighters than you." The words should terrify her. They do terrify her. But Luna's face flashes in her mind. Her daughter sleeping in the palace's safest room, guarded by Davian's best warriors. That fear transforms into something sharper, something useful. "Again," Sarah growls. They dance through forms. Attack, defend, riposte. Sarah's body remembers movements she hasn't used in years. Her family trained her before they died, taught her the basics of combat even though she'd never wanted to fight, never imagined she'd need to. The irony tastes like copper. "Time!" Rashid calls. Sarah bends over, hands on knees, gasping. Her arms shake, her legs feel like water. Davian appears beside her, offering a canteen. "Drink." She does. The water tastes like salvation. When she lowers the canteen, he's staring at her with an intensity that makes her shiver. "You don't have to do this," he says quietly. "I can challenge the treaty. Force a pack council vote. There are other options. That take months. Years, maybe." Sarah wipes sweat from her face. "Malik won't wait. He'll push his claim through every legal channel, and if he gets Luna even temporarily— She can't finish. Davian's jaw clenches. Then I'll kill him, tonight, before the combat, make it look like an accident. And doom your pack? Sarah touches his face. They need you, a stable alpha, a just leader, not someone who murders rivals in the dark. I don't care. The confession tears from him. 6 years. I thought you were dead for 6 years. Now you're back, and I'm supposed to just let you walk into combat against a male twice your size? His voice breaks. I can't lose you again. The vulnerability in his words cracks Sarah's chest open. She steps closer, close enough to feel his heat. You won't. You can't promise that. No. She admits it honestly. But I can promise I'll fight like hell to come back to you, to Luna. Her hand finds his. To us. The mate bond flares between them, golden and hot and undeniable. Davian's forehead drops to hers. They stand like that, breathing together, while the sun climbs higher and time ticks down. Footsteps interrupt. Jamal approaches, expression carefully neutral. The Shadowfang pack has arrived. They're setting up camp at the eastern clearing. He pauses. Malik brought reinforcements. 50 warriors, maybe more. Sarah's stomach drops. Why? Ritual combat is one-on-one. Insurance. Jamal's eyes flick between her and Davian. In case things go badly. In case— He stops, but the implication hangs heavy. In case Davian tries to interfere. Davian's wolf surges. The air around him shimmers with barely leashed violence. If any of them touch her, they won't. Jamal's voice stays level. Pack law protects ritual combatants, but after— He looks at Sarah. If you lose, Malik's warriors will enforce the blood oath terms immediately. They'll take Luna before anyone can intervene. The words punch through Sarah's lungs. She'd known the stakes, but hearing them stated so plainly, so coldly, it makes them real in a way that steals her breath. Where is she? Sarah asks. Where's Luna? The library, with Kendra. Jamal gestures toward the palace. She's been asking for you. Sarah moves before she can think. Through the training yard, up the palace steps, down corridors that blur past. The library doors are open when she arrives. Inside, Luna sits curled in an oversized chair, surrounded by picture books. Kendra, Davian's younger sister, reads aloud, doing different voices for each character. Luna looks up. Mama! She launches herself at Sarah, who catches her despite muscles that scream protest. Luna's arms wrap tight around her neck. Her small body trembles. You're all sweaty, Luna mumbles into Sarah's shoulder. I've been training. Sarah carries her daughter to the chair, sits down with Luna in her lap. Getting ready for tonight. Are you scared? The question is so direct, so innocent. Sarah considers lying, decides Luna deserves truth. Yes, very scared. Me too. Luna's voice gets smaller. What if you don't win? Sarah's throat closes. She forces words past the tightness. Then your papa will take care of you. He's a good man, Luna. Strong, kind. He'll keep you safe. But I want you. Tears spill down Luna's cheeks. I don't want just Papa, I want both of you, I want us to be a family. The tears break Sarah. She holds her daughter close, rocking slightly, letting her own tears fall into Luna's hair. I want that too, baby. So much. They sit like that until the tears slow, until Luna's breathing evens out, until Kendra gently suggests Luna might want lunch. Will you come? Luna asks, pulling back to look at her mother. Soon, Sarah promises. I need to finish training first. But I'll see you before— She catches herself. I'll see you this afternoon. We'll have time together, just us. Luna nods, reluctantly allowing Kendra to lead her away. At the door, she looks back. Mama, you're the strongest person I know. You can do anything. The faith in those words nearly destroys Sarah. When they're gone, Davian appears in the doorway. We have a problem. Of course they do. What now? Malik's demanding Luna be present at the combat. His expression is murderous. He says as the contested party, she has the right to witness the resolution. Absolutely not. Sarah stands, fists clenched. She's 5 years old. She doesn't need to see me die hangs unspoken. I know, I told him to go to hell. Davian moves closer. But he's threatened to void the combat, to push his claim through Pack Council instead. Which means months of legal battles, months where Luna is vulnerable to… He stops, breathes. I can't let that happen. Sarah's mind races. What if she doesn't watch? What if she's there but kept away from the combat circle? Close enough to satisfy Malik's demands, but far enough to be protected? It's risky. Everything about this is risky. Sarah touches his arm, but Luna needs to know I fought for her, that I didn't just give up. If… Her voice cracks. If the worst happens, she needs to see that I tried. Davian pulls her against his chest. The mate bond wraps around them, golden and desperate. I can't watch you die. You won't. Sarah makes her voice firm. I'm coming back to you, to her, I promise. But promises made against fate are thin things, fragile, easily broken. The rest of the day passes in a blur. More training. A meal Sarah can't taste. Luna's small hand in hers as they walk the palace gardens, talking about everything and nothing. Davian's presence a constant shadow, protective and terrified. As sunset approaches, Sarah dresses for combat. Simple clothes, no armor, ritual rules forbid it. Just her, a blade, and whatever strength she can summon. In the mirror she looks small, ordinary, not like someone who can defeat an experienced alpha warrior. Davian enters without knocking. It's time. Their eyes meet in the reflection. 1,000 words pass unspoken. Love, fear, regret, hope. Sarah turns. If something happens, nothing will happen. But if it does… She grabs his hand. Tell Luna every day that I loved her, that she was worth everything. Her voice drops to a whisper. Tell her I'd do it all again. The running, the hiding. All of it. For her. Davian kisses her then, hard and desperate and full of everything they've lost and might lose again. When they break apart, his eyes are wet. For our daughter, he says. For our daughter, Sarah echoes. They walk to the eastern clearing together. The full moon hangs heavy overhead, lighting the ritual circle carved into the earth. Hundreds of wolves ring the space. Davian's pack, Malik's warriors, neutral observers from allied territories. Luna stands near the front, held by Kendra, her small face pale and frightened. Malik waits in the center. He's stripped to the waist, muscles on full display. A blade rests easy in his hand. When he sees Sarah, he smiles. Ready to die? He calls out. Sarah steps into the circle. The crowd noise fades. All she can hear is her heartbeat, her breathing. The whisper of steel as she draws her blade. Ready to lose? She replies. The ritual elder raises his hands. Combatants ready. This is first blood, submission or death. May the old laws guide your strikes. His hands drop. Malik attacks. Who will stand at sunrise? The warrior or the mother? Sarah's blade meets Malik's with a sound like breaking thunder. The impact jars her arms. She rolls with it, using his momentum against him, spinning away before he can grapple. The crowd roars. Luna's scream cuts through the noise, high and terrified. Malik grins. You've learned some tricks. He comes again, faster this time. A faint high, strike low. Sarah barely blocks. The edge of his blade nicks her thigh. First blood. The cut burns, shallow, but enough to satisfy ritual terms if she surrenders now. She doesn't. Sarah attacks. A combination Rashid drilled into her. Strike, parry, riposte. Malik deflects each blow with ease. He's playing with her, letting the fight drag out, proving his superiority to everyone watching. Just submit, he says, almost conversational. Save yourself the pain. Go to hell. She lunges. He catches her blade, twists. Sarah's weapon flies from her hand, landing 10 feet away. The crowd gasps. Malik's boot catches her ribs. Pain explodes through her side. Sarah hits the ground hard enough to taste dirt. Above her, the full moon watches with cold indifference. "Mama!" Luna's voice cracks. "Get up! Please get up!" Sarah's body doesn't want to move. Everything hurts. Her vision blurs. Through the haze, she sees Davian at the circle's edge. His face is destruction. His wolf is right there. One more second and he'll break protocol. He'll charge in and ruin everything. She can't let that happen. Sarah forces herself up, stumbles to her feet. Blood drips from her mouth. Her ribs scream with each breath. "Stubborn," Malik observes. "Like your daughter. That'll serve her well in my pack." The words ignite something in Sarah. Not strength, not courage. Something darker. Something primal. A mother's rage. She charges barehanded. Malik swings his blade. Sarah ducks under it, gets inside his guard. Her fist drives into his throat. Not hard enough to kill. Just enough to make him choke. He stumbles back, surprised. Sarah grabs her fallen blade, spins, catches Malik across the chest. A shallow cut, mirroring the one he gave her. Now they're even. "Lucky shot," Malik snarls, but his eyes have changed. He's not playing anymore. They circle each other, both bleeding. Both exhausted. The crowd has gone silent, watching with held breath. Malik attacks with real intent now. His blade becomes a blur. Sarah blocks, dodges, gives ground. Her arms feel like lead. The cut on her thigh reopens, dripping crimson. She's losing. Everyone can see it. Luna is crying. Kendra holds her back, but barely. Davian looks ready to tear the world apart. Sarah's foot catches on something. She falls. Malik's blade arcs toward her throat. Time slows. In that stretched moment, Sarah sees everything clearly. The blood oath that's haunted her for 7 years. The life she built with Luna. The mate bond with Davian she never got to fully embrace. All of it balanced on the edge of this blade, and she realizes she's been fighting wrong. Malik expects a warrior. Someone trying to match his strength, but Sarah isn't a warrior. She's a survivor. As his blade descends, Sarah rolls, not away, toward him, into his legs. Her blade comes up low, driven by gravity and desperation. It catches Malik's inner thigh, the femoral artery. Blood sprays. Malik's eyes go wide. He stumbles, falls. His blade slips from fingers gone suddenly weak. Sarah rises on shaking legs, places her blade against his throat. "Submit." The eastern clearing holds its breath. Malik's face cycles through shock, rage, disbelief. Blood pools beneath him, dark and fast. Too fast. The cut is deep, fatal if not treated immediately. "Submit," Sarah repeats, "or die here." His eyes find hers. For a moment she sees the boy he must have been once, before ambition and cruelty carved away everything soft, before he destroyed her family to serve his own greed. "I submit," he whispers. The ritual elder's voice rings out. Combat concluded. Victor, Sarah of the eastern border. The crowd erupts, half cheering, half protesting. Malik's warriors surge forward, but Pack Law holds them back. Davian's healers rush in, working to stop Malik's bleeding. Sarah drops her blade. Her legs give out. Strong arms catch her. Davian, he's there, solid and real, holding her like she might disappear. "You did it! You're alive! You're Luna!" Sarah's voice cracks. "Where's Mama?" Her daughter crashes into them both, small arms wrapping around Sarah's waist, tears and laughter mixing together. "You won! You won!" Sarah sinks to her knees, pulling Luna close. Davian folds around them both. The three of them lock together under the full moon while the world continues its chaos around them. "The blood oath is void," the ritual elder announces. "Luna remains with her father. Sarah's debt is paid." Jamal approaches, for once looking genuinely impressed. "Well fought." Malik is being carried away on a stretcher, his warriors following. "He'll survive," the healers say. But his reputation is destroyed. beaten by a mother with basic training. His claim to alpha status will be challenged within days. Sarah doesn't care. She holds her daughter and her mate while her body shakes with aftershock. "I thought I lost you," Davian murmurs against her hair. "Again." "Never again." Sarah lifts her face to his. "No more running, no more hiding. Whatever comes, we face it together." "Together," he echoes. The mate bond between them glows brighter, no longer fractured, no longer denied, whole and gold and permanent. Sarah's mark burns on her wrist, Davian's burns on his neck. Under the moonlight, they shine the same color. Perfect mirrors, proof of what was always meant to be. Luna wriggles between them. "Does this mean you're staying, Mama? We're a real family now?" Sarah and Davian look at each other. 6 years of loss and lies and love that refused to die. All of it leading to this moment, this clearing, this impossible second chance. "Yes, baby," Sarah says. "We're a real family now." Davian pulls them both close. "My girls, mine." The crowd begins to disperse, pack members approaching to offer congratulations, wolves bowing in respect. But for a moment, the three of them exist in their own bubble. Father, mother, daughter, bound by blood and choice and fate. Above them, the full moon watches, witnesses, approves. Luna's small voice breaks the silence. "Papa?" "Yes, sweetheart? Can we have pancakes tomorrow? Mama makes really good pancakes." Despite everything, the combat, the fear, the near death, Davian laughs. The sound is rusty, like he hasn't used it in years. But it's real. "We can have all the pancakes you want," he promises. Sarah rests her head on his shoulder, feels Luna's heartbeat against her chest, feels Davian's arms solid around them both. For 6 years, she ran, hid, survived alone. But tonight, under the moon that marked them both, she finally comes home. The mark on her wrist glows silver. Davian's glows in response. Luna reaches out, touching both marks with curious fingers. Where she touches, the light intensifies, combines, creates something new, a bond not just between mates, but between all three of them, family, pack, forever. As they walk back toward the palace together, Luna chattering excitedly between them, Sarah allows herself to hope, to believe, to trust that some stories, no matter how broken, can find their way to happy endings. And sometimes those endings are just beginnings wearing better clothes. Behind them, the ritual circle lies empty, blood soaking into earth, evidence of what was fought for, what was won. The clearing will be remembered tonight. We'll whisper the story to future generations. Of a mother who faced death for her child, of an alpha who loved fiercely enough to let her fight, of a little girl whose innocent words changed everything. The moon mark story, passed down through pack history, a reminder that sometimes destiny needs a push, sometimes fate needs a 5-year-old to speak the truth at exactly the right moment. And sometimes the strongest bonds are the ones we fight for, the ones we choose, the ones we refuse to let go no matter what darkness tries to tear them apart. Sarah looks at Davian, at Luna, at the future stretching before them like an open road. She's finally free, finally home, finally exactly where she was always meant to be, together. Thank you for listening to this story with us through this tale of love, sacrifice, and second chances. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There are more stories waiting to be told, and your support means everything. Feel free to share a moment that resonated the most with you, or tell us about a time you fought for someone you love. Your words inspire others and remind us all that we're not alone in this wild, beautiful, or complicated experience of being human. Until the next story finds us, stay brave, stay hopeful, and remember that sometimes the greatest strength comes not from winning battles, but from choosing to fight them in the first place.